Truck driving is a male-dominated profession that women find hard to break into it. However, studies have shown that women drivers are more compliant to traffic laws, are cautious and take fewer risks. Sumayiya Mbabazi is a very cautious driver. Driving at 80 kilometers per hour, the 44-year-old who drives a long-haul flatbed trailer for Hima Cement Limited follows company rules. She does not listen to music and neither does she pick her calls when driving.
When you listen to a good song, you lose concentration. Yet when driving, the whole body is functioning. The hands and feet are working. The nose can smell the rubber if the tire has a problem, and this signal is sent to your brain for action.
Her attire is also a pleasant surprise. This former tomboy is dressed in an Uncle Navy blue chaleur, diluted by gold jewelry, a peach veil and brown nail polish. We meet at Torch Energy petrol station in Buloba, Wakiso district, where she is taking a mandated 20-minute break.
We start driving at 5 a.m., drive for 4 hours, and then rest for 20 minutes. We are mandated to stop driving at 11 p.m.
After her break, she makes a few checks on the trailer, and then we set off for Namamve Industrial Park. Mbabazi, who studied in Rwanda until Senior 2, began driving a fuel tank in 2004. Having failed to learn from a French woman driver, she accosted a man who was driving a fuel tanker for Fuelex Uganda Limited and asked him to teach her how to drive. This came with a condition.
That man asked me to be his wife if he was to teach me how to drive a truck. I explained how a French woman had promised. That is how I started learning how to drive, and our relationship blossomed.
Within 2 months, she had learned how to drive, and she was immediately employed by Fuelex as a fuel tanker driver, where she worked for 8 years.
After learning how to drive, the manager of Fuelex Uganda Limited was impressed and employed me on the spot. He told me to choose whatever fuel tanker I wanted to drive, and I began transporting fuel from Kenya to Rwanda.
Mbabazi says at the time she was the only woman driving a fuel tanker.
I was the only female driver, and the male drivers disturbed me so much. I was young and beautiful, but was passionate about my job. Eventually, my marriage broke down because the truth is, a man will only trust you when you are with him. Sometimes I would be in Mbarara when he's in Kabale. In the end, I walked out of the marriage and left the job.
In 2012, with her marriage over, Mbabazi joined a bus company, worked there for a while, and then in 2016, moved on to Hima Cement. In the beginning, she was the only female driver with the company. However, the company now employs over 50% women drivers.
Hima Cement yo etwala obudde nesomesa abakozi baayo ekintu kikwatagana ne safety. Hima Cement gives its drivers safety training. I can do simple things on the road, like changing tires and bolts and nuts and fixing the radiator.
Her main challenge is the bad roads. However, one event that stands out for her is the accident she was involved in 2012 when she was driving a trailer for the World Food Programme. A Kenyan driver left his lane and came towards her in a head-on collision. The Kenyan driver died.
The Kenyan driver hit the corner of the trailer and died instantly. The trailer fell down and skidded for a few meters. The accident occurred at 9 a.m., but I was only pulled out of the cabin at 5 p.m. I sustained a minor injury on the leg, which I bound with a cloth.
After assessing that her injury was minor, the cargo was loaded onto another trailer, which she drove to Kampala. Even with the challenges, Mbabazi is counting her blessings.
I have made friends and connections and achieved fame. I have built my own house and can take care of my children and parents.
Sobola okulabira abaana bange ne basoma, mama wange, tata wange.
Her husband eventually returned to her, and now they try to keep a happy family. She encourages other women to take on the profession.
Yasooka kwekyanga naye kati yamala n'akola ki? N'atereera twakikanyako nti tulina okukola.
We talked about it and we agreed that we have to work in order to take care of our children. When I have time, I find him where he is, and if he has time, he comes to me wherever I am. There is no easy job out there, even if it is being a housewife, a farmer, or a businesswoman. You just have to be determined and courageous.
Si kwangu, kekube kulima. Si kwangu, kekube busuubuzi.
At 44, Mbabazi has 2 children, a son who completed Senior 6 last year and a daughter in Primary 3. She plans to retire in 2 years.
My
son takes up most of my money. However, when he completes university, I will retire and start a small business to take care of my young daughter.
2 hours after we met in Buloba, we arrive at Namamve Industrial Park.
Abahema cement. Cabinet yonna.
I thank the management of Hima Cement for standing by us, and I also thank the government for prioritizing women empowerment.
After hours of driving from Kasese, we are in Namamve, and this truck here has over 600 bags of cement. Now, when you look at the story of Sumayiya Mbabazi, you can really tell that the future belongs to those who believe in their dreams. JOCELYN NAKIBUULE, NTV.